Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is, of course, the middle of the week here, which means that we have another standard routine weekly update now live in Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. Now, in terms of this actual physical update itself, this is more of that routine weekly sort of playlist update with a few additional changes here and there. This is not a full-on title update like what we had earlier on this week with the whole 1.14 patch. So this one is not like a whole mandatory download for all players. Instead, some of you might experience the whole update requires restart screen whenever you go to jump onto the game next after, this afternoon. You go through that, you cycle your game, basically, you're good to go. But there is no actual download with this one, so that's nice and convenient. Now, although this is a bit of a smaller update in and of itself, it did actually still change a handful of things, primarily focusing on the modes available for the next week or so. So first up here, starting with that in Warzone 2, we did see a brand new playlist update for the week of February 1st, and this will go presumably through next Wednesday on the 8th, which in and of itself is going to be a pretty big day as well, because that's when we have the next major reveal coming for season 2, likely the roadmap and all sorts of stuff there. We'll talk more on that towards the end of the video. But for Warzone 2 this week, for Battle Royale, we're looking at all the standard squad sizes. We got solos, duos, trios, and quads. So basic gameplay there, all the standard rules, nothing out of the ordinary. We also see the continuation of Mini Royale trios as well. Mini Royale has been in the rotation for a few weeks now. It seems to be a pretty popular mode. They did make the random adjustment, nerfing all the loot in the stronghold buildings a bit ago, which is kind of a downside, but still, it's a much more, fast-paced game and fast-paced match than what we have with standard Battle Royale, just because it's that condensed zone and that smaller player count. And then I know a lot of players are going to be very, very happy to hear this. Third person is back this week in Warzone 2. It's been missing for a couple of weeks now, so I'm glad they finally decided to bring it back. But this week, we do have the third person duos playlist available now, so just a 2-party squad size there. But regardless, third person is finally back there. I think it's been almost a month since we last had it in game, and I'm always seeing you guys comment every day, Zach, what happened to the third person update? Are they bringing back third person? I guess they classify this as an LTM, so it's gonna come and go. Next week we might see it removed for something else. The week after it could be back. You never really know with this, but at least it's back for the next week at least. Then as we move over into the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer side of things, we did see a new playlist update here as well. So the patch notes are pretty straightforward, just with the playlist changes, obviously. And this week we of course have all the quick play stuff per usual, no surprises there. We do see the return of the third person mosh pit as well, which is fantastic. Again, third person's been MIA. A lot of players were not super happy about that, but it is now back. We also continue to have Shoot the Ship as well, so Shoot House and Shipment in one singular playlist. The CDL Mosh Pit is also good to go now. There was an issue earlier on this week where it was dev erroring your game the second you go to queue into it. That's been fixed, so no issues there. Then we got the standard Ground War Invasion Tier 1 stuff as well. So pretty basic playlist update, but some great news. Third person has returned, so a lot of players should be excited about that. Now, in addition to the sort of mini patch notes, if you will, slash the playlist updates for today's update, we've also seen a few other changes go live in game over the past couple of days. We've got some new updates here from Infinity Ward regarding one that's actually causing major issues for players over the past couple of days, and also some very good news for the season 2 update as well. So initially here, back when we had the 1.14 update go out earlier on this week, just after that update in which they claimed they fixed a bunch of crashing issues, there was a major bug going on where every time you went to save a custom blueprint, it would either crash your game if you were a console player, or would kick you back to the main menu if you were on PC. So just straight up, you couldn't save any custom blueprints whatsoever, which obviously was a huge issue. So Infinity Ward jumped on that one pretty quick, and earlier on this week they released an update that resolved that. So there are no longer any issues with that going on. You can go through and actually save all your custom builds now with all your preferred tuning and everything there without the worry of losing that, it resetting your class, and you have to continuously go back in and redo that over and over again. So glad to see that one is fixed pretty promptly. Also, as we are talking about the next couple of weeks here, the season 2 update and the other major update we have from IW, just a reminder, if you are new to the channel, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. This channel is your one-stop shop for MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. So if you want to guarantee you're always up to date with the latest news and intel, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, join us ultimately on the road to 1 million subscribers. Also, if you guys enjoy this video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. It does really help grow the channel. Really do appreciate all the love and all the support there. Now, as you may recall, it's been revealed in some small bits and pieces here and there that DMZ in Season 2 is going to be receiving some major updates in terms of a player progression wipe, all new missions. Obviously, we're going to be able to play on Ashika Island there as well, in addition to Resurgence gameplay. And one of the big controversies ever since that news was revealed is the fact that basically all of your progress was going to be reset. So all your faction mission progress, all your contraband, all your keys, and even your insured slots. It was actually talked about by Modern Warzone and Charlie Intel. They apparently checked with one of their Activision sources and confirmed that insured weapon slots were going to be reset, and that set off a lot of players. People were not happy that that was going to be the case, and it seems like that feedback got back to Infinity Ward and Raven very, very quickly, because Raven actually, backstepped a little bit and backpedaled a little bit. They say, for additional clarity on DMZ, insured weapon slots are not going to reset with Season 2. More details to come in this week's blog. Stay tuned. So this ends up confirming a couple of things. One, we have more DMZ details coming later on this week, and whenever that blog post does get revealed, we're of course going to be covering that here on the channel. But also, any insured weapon slots that you've earned up until this point are going to stay in Season 2, which is fantastic news. So if you have that second insured slot from getting past Tier 3, that one is not going to be reset, even though you're going to be going back to Tier 1 in Season 2. If you made it through Tier 5 on all the factions and got that second insured weapon slot, or third insured weapon slot, whatever you want to refer to it as, that also will be staying, despite the fact that we'll all be on Tier 1 for all factions on February 15th when Season 2 launches. So definitely some good news for those players that grinded out that here thus far. And if you're close to, actually getting one of those, you definitely want to make sure you finish Tier 3 or Tier 5 on those factions before the reset, because that physical progress won't carry over. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, as mentioned, they say we've got a new DMZ blog coming later on this week. That's great in and of itself, but also we know for a fact we have the roadmap dropping next week on the 8th, or like the major, gameplay and content reveals happening there. I assume that means the roadmap as well. And we should also be having some individual blogs apparently for some of the multiplayer changes, and maybe even some of the MP content as well that we have to look out for here between the end of this week and next week as well. So while we are definitely in a content drought right now in MW2, Warzone 2, and DMZ, just sort of waiting for Season 2 to drop, at least these next 2 weeks are going to be full of exciting reveals and exciting announcements to build some hype for the seasonal launch. And of course, you guys already know, whenever we get any new updates, news, intel, any reveals for anything coming here between all three modes, I'm gonna have you covered as soon as it happens. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date with that, alongside absolutely everything else going on in the world of Call of Duty as well. And if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. But that's gonna wrap things up for this one. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.